Hi guys, welcome back to coffee number 5. And today we're in International Women's Month. I feel proud of being a woman, and I always say something like, "Women's business have no gender, business has no age, business has no color." And over the years, I saw this woman online, and then I found out about her club. Her name is Mirela Sula. She is in the UK. Welcome, Mirela.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have her here today because she has this saying that if you give a woman a microphone, how does it go?
If you want to empower a woman, give her a microphone.
Exactly. So
and that's the way it works.
We like to talk.
Yeah, we like to talk. We like to talk, but we want to be heard. We want to make sure that we have a voice that is heard, and we want also to speak our mind and to be able to communicate for things that matter to us. And for that is very important, because by having that opportunity to be able to articulate what is deep inside us, then what we're doing, we are tapping into our power, because communication is power. The voice, listening to your voice, is power. And especially having people to be able to listen to us and to put ourselves in the map and to put ourselves into a place where our voice matters, that gives us power. But, sometimes I laugh with this, because how it started is like, it started not only in a metaphoric way, the way I'm explaining, it literally gave me this aha moment when I was trying to convince a woman to come on stage, and she just didn't want to. She was like, she became very emotional. She said, no, that's not for me. I'm not going to do that. And because in the Global Women Club, the model, the way we have designed it is like, the speaker is the woman. The speaker is the member who comes to participate and be part of it. And then this lady just didn't want to. And I don't know what I did. My lady said, "You did your magic." And I convinced her to come. And I said, "Can you come just for 30 seconds? Just say who you are, and then you go." And then what she did, she got the mic, and she went 30 seconds and 1 minute and 2 minutes and 5 minutes. And I ended up doing this. So you struggle to give women the mic, but then you struggle to get the mic back.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in so many communities, and what I was in love when I joined Women's Club, I'm a member here in Los Angeles, was that people were encouraged about talking about their business. In the past, I was like, I went to other communities, and actually they told me, you talk about business too much, or you shouldn't be selling your services. Why? So it's okay for people to come and pick my mind about what I do, but it's not okay for me to offer my services. And we had a phone conversation once, and you were all business, and I love that you were asking me, what do you do? How do you work? And we talk business. Women were allowed and more than able to talk business. Why those conversations need to be in the men's world only? And why a woman come up too aggressive if they're talking about their business?
Now, this is the thing. We talk about women empowerment, and I have been in that place, and I completely empathize with you, because I have been in that place where I attended a master class, and the speakers, the trainers were teaching us about branding, about marketing, how you should do it. And during the break, I remember I didn't have a business card, but I had a couple of magazines in my bag. And during the networking, I showed people what I have and said, "Wow, very good." And in the group, there were like about 4 or 5 of us. And we just ended up, everybody was handing a magazine, because they said, "Can I have one? Can I have one?" They just showed interest. And then what happened is the organizers, they just, I remember they came approaching to the group, and they just said, "Can we have a word with you?" I said, "Yeah, okay." And they put me in the other room, and they just made me cry and said, "You're not allowed to do that." And they said, the way they said, it's not just what they said, but the way they did it was so very demeaning, and it just didn't make me feel good. And I remember going back home crying, honestly. So from that day, I started doing a lot of networking events and writing down what are the things that I do not like, not the things that I like, all the list of things that I don't like. And I said, one day I want to create a platform which I am going to make sure these things do not happen. Because especially, and these were two women, by the way, especially there was a moment where I was seeing this kind of tendency where we talk about women empowerment, and then when the woman starts having the power, I said, no, you got too much now. It's never too much. How can you say like we say, hey, let's empower you, and then when I empower myself, then say, no, don't get so much power. Now you have got too much, and this is what exactly happened to me. I came from a very different world. I come from a culture where women are always suppressed. Women are always hiding themselves. Women are always full of fears, full of anxiety. If I say something wrong, if I do something wrong. And I come into this world where I see these people. I thought, if they're saying, I mean, I literally take it as they say it. And I am a good student. I keep notes. I just immediately go and implement what I learn. But I didn't know that this is called English diplomacy or American diplomacy or the modern culture diplomacy. Not like for us, for example, we think, we say, that's it. In here, I just realized that on stage, people, they were saying all kind of amazing things. You should do this and let's empower people. But off stage, they were not the same people.
No.
Off stage, they would just go and suppress you, say, put the magazine in the bag, or don't do this, or hey, but you're preaching on stage that we should do this. Now,
exactly.
On stage, you're different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that you use the phrase to believe in their potential. People who believe in other people's potential. How do you, because you created this community and there are people with all kind of backgrounds and different kind of potentials. How do you help a community as a community to reach each person's potential?
Well, it's the culture that you create. And usually what happens is the whole community starts getting the leaders' culture, the leaders' energy. For example, when I organize an event, or when I'm running a master class, or when I bring women together, I'm the first person to start. From the moment that I see somebody coming in, even though now I can spot immediately someone who is first time, someone who is shy, who doesn't know what to expect. And I see somebody coming to the room, entering the room, and say, hey, darling, how are you? Oh, great to see you here. Is your first time? How are you feeling? Welcome. By the way, let's do a picture together. What do you do? So I said, okay, and when I get to know what you do, I said, oh, let me introduce you with somebody. So I make the introduction. And then I ask somebody, say, Kate, let's say Lara is new here. Can you just introduce Lara with some other people? So I facilitate that by encouraging other women to do the same. And this is the kind of culture that we are creating in Global Women, where we do not feel, sometimes when women come, honestly, when they come for the very first time, I'm telling you, literally, this is what they say. They take the mic and they don't know what to say. And they say, hi, I love Global Women. I love Mirela. Thank you very much. So they say quite a few, like simple little words and a couple of words, and then they go. And I said, where are you going? You're not here just, yes, thank you. You love Mirela, you love Global Woman, but tell us about you. And then say, yeah, but I don't, sometimes they say, yes, I have a business, or I'm a coach, or when they are for the first time, we have also very, very top women who come and make it amazing. But also the reason I'm sharing this is, like, we have been a hub to also attract these kind of women and train these women who didn't have that confidence, who didn't know they have that potential. And in a couple of months, the same woman who would come and say, hi, I don't know what to say. 2-3 months later, you'd see that woman standing like this. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Great to see you here. By the way, this is me. I'm a trainer in public speaking. I said, oh my God. 3 months ago, she could hardly speak 2 words together. And now she's a trainer in public speaking. I didn't give her the knowledge. She already had it. I didn't give her the power. She already had it, but I gave her the permission to use it. And the permission is by creating that environment, that safe zone, that space where they feel, oh, can I, sometimes they come and say like a story, said, come on, darling, I know you have a book to promote, to launch next month. You have a course, or you have a retreat. And I said, am I allowed to do that? I said, of course, that's why we're here. We're to network, to do business. So are you here for that reason? I said, yeah, but I didn't know I'm allowed to do this. Tell us. Okay, sell it to us now. So we practice. That's why we do it. We call it, let's pitch it. Let's 2-minute pitch, practice it. Probably, at the end of the day, we have people who are great pitchers and they pitch it to those who want to learn more, and those who don't know how to pitch, but they learn from them who know how to do it.
And,
so everybody
and also,
benefits.
I mean, there's an art of networking that you need to learn how to work your art, and it depends the space that you are. Like in Global Woman, you have the opportunity to talk to people and to do your pitch. In other places, it's just you need to work it a little slower and get to know people, but you're always selling yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But we speed it. We like this. We speed the journey. We speed the success, because if somebody is coming to Global Woman, that means that she's looking for something. She's searching for something. She's trying to find that place. And if we are preaching and teaching and saying that we are doing what we do, then we have to do it properly. And honestly, I can't believe that people don't understand how much more they can benefit by giving, by creating these opportunities, by seeing that potential into other people, because the only way to become successful is help other people to become successful. And that's very obvious. That's why when I really do the maximum to support these women, to see the potential on them, to see the best on them, to get their best version out of themselves, I do it because it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so
and it's like a boomerang. It's like karma. It comes back to you when you do something good for others. That somehow comes back. I mean, I'm like you. I always remember people, and maybe I haven't seen you in 10 years, but someone needed someone. I said, "Oh, I know this woman. Let me find out their number," and just connected out of the blue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of culture as well. We come from this culture where we really feel committed when we say we're doing something. We commit. We love people as well. Our culture is a little bit like more people's culture, where we go out there, we do for others. But there's no right and wrong. As I said, we are all learning, and I am very grateful that I have come from this kind of background where it's very natural to me. I don't need to reinforce myself. I don't need to put pressure on myself, because everything I do is just part of my nature.
And I think you have a unique keyword there, which is global. And right now we live in a global world. And you realize this when you started, and you created communities in so many countries, in so many different cultures. Do you feel that you had to adjust or change a little bit your programs or how you operate to match those cultures?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, because I also thought that it's going to be kind of challenging when I go from one country to another. But honestly, in every country that I have been, I have seen that women share more or less the same pain, the same struggle, the same desire, the same aspiration, the same dream, the same vision. And they have the same common language. Honestly, I never had any barrier in terms of the culture. I could go, let's say, in Scandinavian countries where I was like thinking, wow, these women are really developed. And I could go in Johannesburg, I could feel the same. Honestly, I could feel like the same passion to women. And I'm comparing two complete different worlds, because I really remember when, for example, I was talking with women in Johannesburg, for example. These women were so passionate. They would come and they would go out there and say, we want to do business. I remember there were some women from Nigeria as well who came, and I was so impressed. The same when I go to, I don't know, Stockholm or Oslo or in other countries of the world, I could see the same. Women were really, wow, I love your story. I love to be involved. I want to do more. I want to participate. I want to be active. How do I grow my business globally? So honestly, it's not that much as I thought. Of course, like to put it into a context, there are always different challenges that they face. But in terms of the mindset, I think we are come to like a one global team where people are, it's like I call it otherwise, like the individual mind belongs to the universal mind, where this is more part of the industry that we are involved with, where we invest in our personal development, we invest in our spirituality, spiritual journey, in our personal growth, which that is the most important part. And women are doing that very well.
And how about creating content that is, or programs that are interesting for everyone? How hard is that? How do you plan your programming?
Well, so at the beginning, the whole movement started with the magazine. So I started with the Global Woman magazine with a desire to to feature stories of women around the world. And I was always coming from a media background. I was always fascinated how these stories can impact the readers as well, and also the interviewers themselves. And then very soon after, I realized that by creating this network of women, as I was interviewing them, I started bringing them together and invite them to share, to open, to network, to connect. And then we moved from the magazine to the networking. Then we created the business school and the academy. Now, in that platform, we have created all kind of, library content where everybody can find themselves, because when it comes to learning, it's more universal. We teach about marketing, digital marketing, media training, business, finance, mindset, psychology, well-being, yoga, meditation, spirituality, social media, all kinds of things. And these are the same everywhere. So it has been like really easy to connect the dots globally, because women love it, and women love breaking the barriers. And honestly, when we bring in one room women from different countries, it's so easy. They understand each other so easy, and we find excitement as well. So, wow, where are you coming? I never been there. I would love to be there. So it like women have that language that breaks all the barriers.
I know the Global Woman is inclusive, and you accept some men as well. Do you feel like all the women want to have a woman community, or they're open to have an inclusive community that some men are accepted? I mean, I'm thrilled that some men want to be part of a Global Woman community. I think it's amazing.
A lot.
I think it's amazing that men want to support, and it's groundbreaking that you can get that kind of support. Do you have any pushback from a woman's community?
That's a very, very, very good point. Because in big events, we always bring men, and we invite and we encourage men to come. We encourage women to bring their partners. And in the Global Woman Club, in the club itself, I tried quite a few times to make it more open for men, because I really wanted, when we talk gender equality, you want to make sure you don't talk to yourself. You want to bring these people on board. And now I'm telling you an episode which happened a few months ago, like not the last meeting in London, but the meeting before. We discussed with some of the ladies, how about we start trying to bring men in our conversations as well. And I intentionally created a panel of men in that inner circle. So it was a small group of women. And I brought 4 men, put them on the spot, and we just started asking them questions. Now, one of the men said something that I think 1 or 2 women, they felt like, oh. And then after that, we had a meeting and said, ladies, what do we do? Should we just close the doors? We don't bring men, or what? So it's very controversial. Some of the women said, no, we should bring them. It's no matter what they say, it's how we take it. But some others said, no, I don't feel comfortable. The way they treated us, it's like, at the end of the day, it's not the event, it's how you perceive it, how you interpret it. And we had different kind of interpretations. Some said, oh, we definitely, I would love to challenge them. I don't care whatever they say. And some others said, if you bring them back, I'm not comfortable to come. So it's a bit tricky. If it was for me, honestly, no matter what a man would say, if I don't take it, it's not going to impact me. But we have to speak for the whole community, and we have to respect, because this is called the Women's Club. So probably what we decided, we are going to be more selective. And these guys, if they want to come, they have to go through an interview. And we know what they're going to say, and if they're aligned with us, if they really respect the audience. Because look, for somebody who would say something and it's not a big deal, but for somebody else,
I think
it is
that needs to happen to everyone, woman, man, or whatever you are. They need to be aligning to your beliefs and respect your beliefs to come and speak to your tribe.
I agree, yes. But again, we have to be respectful of our community, because sometimes they have their own expectations. Mm-hmm. And as I said, we found the common ground solution where we can bring some guys, but guys who are really aligned, who believe in women empowerment, who respect the gender equality, who are very careful and respectful of the language that they use. So these are the kinds of things that we discussed. And slowly probably will open up.
Yeah. Well, it's like COVID. We're slowly taking our masks off. Yeah. And I think we are getting a better world because we are all more inclusive. And that's what makes us great.
Oh, yes. Inclusivity and diversity for me has been always important. And I'm so grateful that we have had this chance to grow this global community and open doors for so many women to feel home, to feel safe, and to not feel judged for what they say, who they are, the skin color, or they're rich or poor, or with university or no university, or what kind of background. For me, that's really important, that Global Women is open for all women, especially those who really want to learn from others that are more advanced, because that's why we have all kind of, diversity. So women who are really advanced with their business, advanced with their career, but also for me, these women who just have, let's say, had a wake-up call, or had a breakup through, or a breakthrough, or they had a moment, aha moment, and said, oh my God, where do I find a solution? Where do I find a hand that can hold me? And they come to Global Women and they see that there is another group of women who have been there before them, and is also showing compassion and affection and that empathy to tell them, don't worry. The fact that you are here today doesn't mean that you'll stay there forever. So you can move to the next level very soon into this space. So I really appreciate that we have managed to create this diversity and this powerful inclusivity where women feel really safe and home.
Thank you so much for sharing this. And I have one last question for you. We all see and admire this Mirela that we see always gorgeous in her social media, wearing all these amazing colors and in all these incredible events. But I know that to get where you are today, you had to go through a journey. And we all make mistakes, or things happen to us that they weren't that perfect, but from that situation, we learn so much. I believe that we learn sometimes more from our mistakes than from our success. So what's that story, that mistake, that thing that happened to you that you can share with our audience that they can learn from it and grow?
Oh, there are a lot. I've done a lot of mistakes in my journey, and I've done a deal with myself. I'm going to allow myself to do mistakes, because the only way to grow is by getting out of your comfort zone and taking risks and allowing yourself to do mistakes. Because it's, sometimes I tell my ladies to say, hey, you want to stay safe, very, very safe. Yeah, stay home. Stay in the corner, we'll feed you. We'll come and bring you food. You don't need to get out. We'll bring you everything in the house. But is that the life? Is that the world? the real world is getting out there and getting your hands dirty and trying and failing and falling down and getting out back again and going to the dark zone and crying and say, I want to give up, it doesn't work, and then get it up again in the morning. And probably there are moments when you don't want to get out of the bed, you don't want to read that book, you don't want to go to that event, you don't want to do that course, you don't want to do that meeting, that phone call, but you have to do it. It's not a matter of you want it or not. It's not a matter of choice. It's a matter of commitment. Once you commit on something, you have responsibilities, and as a leader, you have to make things happen. And when you move yourself in that zone, oh my God, you're going to do a lot of mistakes. You're a human being, but the thing is that you have to accept that you have done mistakes, and because only in that time you are able to learn. And honestly, I understand that I have done a mistake immediately. And at the beginning, because I'm raised in a culture where you're not allowed to do mistakes, and I used to suffer a lot for little things, because as I said, everything is interpretation. But now I have learned to forgive myself and to understand that I'm a human being. And if I want to make the job done, of course, mistakes are going to happen. The only people who do not do mistakes are those who do not do anything, just sit there and do nothing. But if you are involved, yeah.
It's not how many times you fall, it's how graciously you get up and keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So it hasn't been easy. And of course, there have been a lot of moments where I had to pick up myself again, struggling, especially at the beginning as an immigrant, as a single mother. It has been really tough. I didn't have any support. I didn't know anybody in this country. I was in a student visa. I mean, all kind of barriers. I had hundreds of reasons to give up, but I knew that I was here for a reason. It's like when you have that calling, you just believe and keep going, and you stay loyal to that no matter what. So there have been a lot of dark moments in this journey, but that's okay. That's normal. I mean, tell me one successful person that hasn't been there. They all.
Yeah, I mean, to succeed, you need to fail first. Every successful person had some failures before.
Yeah, and then that failure, if you learn from it, because sometimes you earn and sometimes you learn.
Yep.
And in every time you're the winner. So you have to just keep going, be consistent, and keep your faith on your vision and what you're doing. Because once you start this journey, the most important thing is that once you start something, you have to make sure you complete it, because that's the only way you create the habit of success. And if you start something and you don't complete it, you're just creating the habit of failure, and the giving up is going to become like a pattern, a habit for you, and you're going nowhere. That's why for me, the option to give up is not an option.
Thank you so much. That's so inspiring. And it was a pleasure to have you here having coffee with me today. And to you guys, I will see you next week on coffee number 5.
Thank you so much, Lara. You are so inspirational. You are amazing. And it's a great honor, a great pleasure to be part of your show. And I follow you with admiration, and well done to you, because again, it's not easy to achieve what you have achieved.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be part of your community.